How's it going? This is Jay Leno, and I'm gonna need you guys to hit that like button for me. I will gladly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be discussing IDW's Road to 150, issue 147. So, at the beginning of this comic, we've got Leo, Carmen, and Bob fighting off these creatures while April is trying to keep the portal open while Donatello, Venus, and this other Bob is time traveling through all these different dimensions. Right now, the swarms of enemies have been extremely, way more intense than it was in the past, and nobody right now is tech savvy enough to even really handle what to do, of course. So after defeating these creatures, Leonardo is considering bringing in more reinforcements, and Leonardo finally gets a hold of Michelangelo, who is in New York, to call him down to help April, Bob, and Carmen out. And so Leonardo asks, has he heard from Raph? He said he hasn't heard from Raph. He's had his phone off, but the last that he's heard of Raphael is that he is traveling through Ohio. Leo has also requested to see if April could get a hold of Dr. Harold, Fugitoid, or Mona. And April was finally able to get a hold of Dr. Harold, Fugitoid, and Mona via a laptop or screen. And unfortunately, Harold had to bear some bad news to April that, according to the readings, the wormhole itself that they're holding is collapsing. So right now, they're being pressed for time. They're being bombarded with all of these creatures. Things aren't looking very real right now in the present universe of the present time of what's going on with the Ninja Turtles. So now we're going to be moving forward to the 79th dimension of Null time, where Renet and Lita, who is Donatello's daughter, are pretty much the time mistresses of this time. They pretty much are like the council of time. Long story short, so right now it's Donatello and it's Bob and it's Venus, and what appears to be a future Raphael within their presence. But this Raphael is a bit different. He's a bit delusional. He's a bit out of wits mentally, and so Donatello had noticed this strange behavior out of Raphael, and Lita and Renet had to explain to him that Raphael right now is suffering from temporal psychosis and advanced temporal atrophy. And this has much to do. So basically explaining, when you guys were jumping across these different timelines, there are repercussions behind it. But here's the key thing that I want to point out right now with this Raphael, because it wasn't necessarily introduced. But if you go back and have an opportunity to read the 2023 IDW's annual comic, that was a futuristic Raphael that went back to warn Donatello about the acts that he was going to do, which would affect the existence of the Turtles, period. So I think this is that same Raphael, and he did not have permission to do such. And there are causes and effects with him traveling, and mentally, that's what we're seeing from Raphael at this very moment. He's literally talking to a Casey Jones mask, as if Casey is in existence right now and present to him. So it's a bit embarrassing, and to be honest with you, it's sad to see your favorite Ninja Turtle looking like I don't know, like he had an lobotomy or something. Now, I also would like to mention that they did ask, is there any possibility to cure Raphael and his condition for the time being? They said yes, we can, but that's not our priority right now. And so right now, as they're going through the I guess you would call it the castle of the 79th dimension of Null time, you get to see these temporal offenders, which basically these are highly criminal offending time travelers that they pretty much keep in prison because they're just a danger in time travel. And Renet had warned the Turtles before of the repercussions of going into time travel, but of course with the stubbornness of Donatello and pretty much everybody from the core group doing the time traveling, that there are going to be repercussions. So she said, if you guys don't stop listening to me, you guys are on you guys' way of being imprisoned inside of these capsules. So, I mean, right now, Renet has got her hands full, especially with, you've got Donatello, Venus, and Bob doing their time travel. You've got Armaggon biting these chunks through these time lapses and endangering the existence of everybody, of everything, like all current events, like everybody that's inside of this comic book dimension, including Mutant Town, are affected by this right now. And the last thing that could ever happen, that they would want to happen, is for Armaggon to find the 79th dimension of Null time a chamber or capsule where they're residing at right now and destroy it. Okay, one of the biggest pet peeves, or one thing that bothered me about this issue, is that Bob had asked Lita to travel in time and change his mutation itself. In such a time like this, it's so selfish of him to do something like it's completely idiotic to me. And of course Lita's like, okay, we'll see, but like right now we have priorities, Bob. Let's, we're not really trying to worry about you not being happy with being a darn baboon right now, Bob. Okay, I'll talk to you in a moment. One thing I definitely wanted to point out, especially right here while you're viewing this particular panel, they said, Renet, should we tell Donatello and Venus who Bob really is? That's a big mystery, and I'm gonna have to talk to my fellow IDW comic readers to let me know if they can fill me in as to who Bob is and what was that subliminal line. So Bob makes his way towards those capsules where those I guess time travelers are imprisoned, and he uses this communication device for some reason. It doesn't really explain as to exactly what was done, but I'll just say it. This freaking idiot alerts Armaggon of their location, the one guy that they didn't even want to be there. And guess what? Armaggon finds them and begins to attack their chambers. So now, as far as Donatello, Venus, and this idiotic Bob goes, Renet and Lita have to open up this portal and allow them to time travel again to save the existence of their universe. And these turn of events has really got me like really pondering as to who this Bob guy is and all of his weird behaviors, because I'm already pissed that my guy Raphael is suffering right now. So they open up the portal for Donatello and Venus, and of course, like, the time's ticking, they're short on time. But the big confusion to me that happens right here is Bob and Donnie and Venus make it, and they were calling for Raphael to make it, but Raphael didn't make it. He's stuck there with Armaggon and Lita and Renet as Armaggon destroys that dimension chamber. Now, are they dead? Are they just consumed? Are they just lost in his stomach and reality could change? We don't know. But Donatello, Bob, and Venus are able to make it into whatever dimension that they traveled in. And come to our surprise, it's in a different timeline where they run into Jenica, who looks half cyborg, half turtle, and it tells us welcome to Mutant City. And that'll conclude the issue 147. So now we know what's going to happen. We got a direction as to what's to come to 148. I really appreciate them Renet has always made an appearance in the TMNT comics, but seeing her and having her involved really turned really attracting me to this particular issue. And I was like really like trying to wait and figure out where the heck is Jenica, or if they're going to do anything with her. So now we're going to see future Jenica. So yeah, you guys just let me know what you guys think. If I fell off from anything, and if there's anything you want to fill me in, or any past issues to really catch me up on some of these characters, I think I'm going to go into looking at Bob's character, or yeah, whatever this character is. But thanks, guys.